Alright, unfortunately, there was another issue with the save where I had a few crashes in the final test. So, unfortunately, you might see a few of these videos where I just show the scorecards. Um, it was such a shame because it was a really good climax to the Australian set tour. Just a bit of background, I'm sure you can see the result at the bottom there. We do actually lose this test by 4 wickets, but we actually had a fantastic performance in that second test to come back from, um, to effectively set a total of 190. I know I said this in the last video, and somehow win. When Australia were 1 for 80, it was just a fantastic performance. But onto this test, it's just a bit hard to sort of have a bit emotions out of it because after that high test in the second test, we had all the confidence in the world, but Australia come out in their first innings and make 559. It was just a really bad slog for our bowlers. They were going at nearly, well, pretty much four of them were going at 4+ and over. And Giddy was the only one that was going under 4 and over. You see there, Steve Smith again got 100. So it's a fantastic performance by Steve Smith. You see, we did get Warner and Burns out very early. Unfortunately, Labuschagne and Smith set the tone. So we had him at 2 for 61, and the next wicket was 3 for 235. Travis Head did make 100, and unfortunately, once they got there, it was pretty much we couldn't really do much. We got Cameron Green out early. Again, Alex Carey did not get picked. I don't know why they keep dropping him. Josh Felipe did bat well. He made 74. Then Jai Richardson played. He made 10. Mitchell Stark somehow made 64 not out. And we did get Agar and Alice out for 4 and 7. But again, it was all over. By then, Australia were already on 500 by the time those two had already come into the squad or the side to bat. And pretty much the only good wicket taker you'd say is, I'd personally only say that Ngidi was the only one that bowled well, simply because he bowled under 4 and over, and he only got 2 wickets, but he bowled a lot better than you see the other 4 bowlers did. In our first innings, we had a complete batting collapse at the top of the order once again. In our first innings, we had a shambles of a performance. We were 5 for 64 and somehow recovered to 10 for all out for 285. Effectively here, Thomas Radley ironically made 91 not out. He was on par for 100. He probably should have made 100, but unfortunately he just ran out of batting partners. Rabada did hang around a bit. He made 40 and Mortar made 44. But every single other player was just, other than obviously the bowlers who really shouldn't be making your runs, was just an appalling performance. Australia bowled fantastic here. Stark, 3 wickets at an economy of 2, nearly just 2.64. Richardson bowled very effectively. Alice, he bowled quite badly. To be honest, he got 3 wickets, but he was very costly with the ball. Wes Agar did bowl well. But that is our first innings. I believe we followed on, and we did. We actually made 377 in our second innings. So ironically, we made a bigger score in our second innings than we did with our first. Milan unfortunately couldn't push on for 100. Snyman again gets to the 70s and gets out. Zolan Crooks we brought into the side for... I forgot who I brought him in for. I'm sure you guys can work it out based on what I played in the last test. But yeah, we just had a batting collapse again once Zolan Crooks went out. We were pretty much cruising. We were going at we were 3 for 203. We were at least on par for 400. I was hoping 400. I know we did make 377. But it was a bit disappointing we didn't push on for 400, and I say that because it was a road of a wicket. In the and we did set Australia, I think, a total of like, what was it? Yeah, we set Australia a very poor total. There was like 103 or something. We did actually, I did think we were a little bit of a chance when we had Australia at 5 for 62, but just Australia chipped away at the total, and they had plenty of wickets remaining, still 4 wickets remaining. Just meant we couldn't keep up with them, but to lose the series 2-1 on Australian soil is a little bit disappointing, but there are some positives to take out of this test match and series, and I'm sure you guys have probably seen the progress of my squad develop over the 3 years so far. This is ironically the last test of the 3rd season, so it's another short season. So in the next video I will be going over the Year 3 season review. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little short overview of the 3rd and final test, and I'll see you guys then.